Hello guys, I hope you're doing great and that you started the year with positive energy. In today's video, we are going to do the January setup. I'm really sorry for how late this video is, but I really tried to upload as soon as I could. In my previous video, I did the 2023 journal setup, and if you are interested in this as well, please click up here. So for the January cover page, I wanted something that represents welcome. Since it's a new year, I wanted it to be welcoming so that when I open the journal, I kind of have that vibe. And here I am using the Winsor & Newton color pencils. I really love these as they are really soft. This is actually my first year keeping a journal. I felt like before I was never really able to keep one, but this year I wanted to monitor my productivity and make sure that I improve on different things. I feel like a journal is the best way to do it because you don't have to stay thinking about the different tasks that you need to do or the things that you need to improve on, because they are all written down in this place where you can just go and see them. So after I colored in the doors of the windows with the color pencils, I went over it with the Ohuhu marker to make the colors more bold and to make them stand out a bit more. At first I wanted to use the Ohuhu markers only, but because the paper is so thin, they would have bled through and then I will not be able to use the back of the page. So instead I decided to start with the color pencils, and they sort of create this waxy layer which prevents the Ohuhu markers from bleeding. So I feel really weird about using so much blue because I personally wouldn't really choose to work with this color, but I really love the way that it turned out. I wanted every page of the journal to be useful, and to do this I added a little note box at the bottom of the drawing, which I can use for little notes or reminders that I might need to write down for the month. On the other side of the page, I plan to have a to-do list for the month, and at the bottom I made a circle in which I wrote the keys. So I have a very good mark for things that will be completed, and a half-filled box for tasks that are in progress, an X for things that were not done, a line through the middle of the box for tasks that were cancelled, and a box for things that will be moved to a different date. And to complete the page, I wrote the month January at the very top, and then I wanted to decorate it with some stickers. And at first I was a bit indecisive about where I was going to place the sticker, so I moved it around a few times until it felt right. And once the frame was stuck in place, I added the film sticker on top. And then I finished the page by adding a few colors. I decided to stick some extra pages in between the January spread so that I can have the January daily calendar on the same spread. So I measured the paper to be a bit smaller so that the title and the design on the sides would still be visible. So I wanted to go with 4 days on each page, and I kept the style and colors very consistent. And for each box, I went with a white colored pencil to create the waxy layer underneath the Ohuhu markers so that I won't have any problems with the paper. And I chose a very light brown and pale green Ohuhu marker to create an outline for each box. On top of the marker, I created another border with the fine liner pen to create like a sticky note vibe. I used the rose gold and blue metallic glitter marker of Faber-Castell for the boxes at the top and in the corner of the days. So to keep the style consistent, at the end of each page, I added the leaf patterns again and some dots here and there just to make it look better. So since this part is very repetitive for each page, I decided to do a time lapse so that you don't have to sit and watch the same thing over and over again. On the next page, I wanted to include my daily trackers, and I started with my calorie tracker. I usually track my calories on an app on my phone called MyFitnessPal, and I am still going to do that, but I just wanted to track it over a period of a month just to see how consistent I am at this. The next thing that I want to track is my wake-up time. Lately I've been sleeping longer, and I think it is because of the cold. Since it's cold in the morning, I kind of struggle to get out of bed. Another thing that I want to work on is to draw every day. Since at the moment I have a lot of things going on, it's really hard for me to fit in a drawing each day. And the last daily thing that I feel like I need to track is uploading a daily Instagram story. I really like sharing what I work on with you guys, so follow me on Instagram for more content and so that we can connect even more together. On the other side, I made my weekly trackers, which include posting a YouTube video, exercise, and Insta post. On the left side, I wrote each week, so I divided the page in 6, and again I left a bit of space for any notes that I would like to take down. At the bottom, I included the keys with the color of each thing. I created a swatch sheet with the same paper of the journal so that I can keep track of any colors that I use, but also to test any colors to make sure that they look good on the paper. Now it's time for my favorite part, which is to decorate the page. I will use the pencils again to divide the 4 sections from each other, and then use a different pencil to divide the other 6 sections on the other page. I didn't really like how the pencils made the pages look. I felt like it was not completed, so then I went over it again later on and added some more decorations. So the next pages are going to be about YouTube. And since this is what I am currently mostly focusing on, I decided to make a whole spread for it. So I wanted to draw and cut out a simple YouTube logo, which can be used on one of the pages. So again, I used a fine liner pen of Faber-Castell for the outline. I really like the look of this messy outline, it makes it feel more natural. I have seen a lot of journals that have an envelope stuck on the paper in which you can stuff color swatches or grid guides, and I was going to do that at first, but I thought that I might not actually go through the envelope and find the information that I needed. So instead, I decided to draw the envelope on the paper so that way I write all the information and it is instantly visible. Since it is a YouTube spread, I obviously wanted to use a red color, so I filled in the envelope with a red colored pencil, and then I went over it with a red Ohuhu marker, and then at the edges of the envelope I decided to use a darker red so that I create some sort of form. I really like how the Ohuhu markers look over the pencil, and it also prevents the Ohuhu markers from bleeding through the paper, so this is definitely something that I want to keep using. I was actually thinking to create an Ohuhu marker artwork because I haven't really done a detailed one yet, so if you guys are interested, let me know down in the comments. So this page will be used for video ideas, so let me know down in the comments if you guys have any suggestions. So to add some more details, I drew the leaf pattern again coming out of the envelope, and I also drew some little ones in the corner of the envelope. And then I used a very light gray marker on the edges of where the paper is so that I add a bit more detail. So on the other page, I want to include different things, and something that I want to focus on is things that I want to improve that are specifically about YouTube or about my social media. And I feel like I need to get faster at recording and editing my videos so that I will avoid being late with my uploads, and also so that I have more time to make more art. So to decorate the page a bit, I again used the light gray to create a border around the area for the things that I want to improve on. And then on top of the border, I again used the fine liner pen to create these thin lines. Next on this page is my YouTube tracker. So in my YouTube tracker, I want to include the number of videos that I created during the whole month. I also want to include the best video of the month, the number of subscribers gained, and the watch hours. So although YouTube is my main focus at the moment, I also wanted to include a little tracker in the corner for Instagram and TikTok. Again, I would really appreciate if you guys could support me on these platforms as well. And I'm really trying to be more consistent here too. And again, to decorate the page, I added some of the leaf patterns and some scribble weird patterns, which I really like the style of, and I think that they look really cool on the page. And the next two pages will be focused on monthly spendings and earnings. I never actually really tracked these before, but since two of my goals include saving up for something, I thought that it would be better for me to track these things out. So on the page on the left, I decided to create this design and then replicate it on the other side, but in the opposite way. So on the left page, I drew a silver line, and on top of it, I drew the leaf pattern that I've been using throughout the journal. And on top of the leaf pattern, I decided to make a line with the black acrylic marker, on top of which I will then write personal in white. So on the other page, I did the same thing, but instead of using silver, I used gold, and instead of making a black box, I made a white box, and then wrote in black on top of it. And I wanted to divide the pages in half, so at the top I will have my personal spendings and earnings, so like my salary and any personal items that I need to buy on a monthly basis, and then at the bottom, I will use it for other things. So for example, if I spend anything on the YouTube channel or on any other projects that I work on. And for the earning side, if for example I get freelance work, I will add it over there. And in the corner at the bottom, I decided to leave space for the amount that I will manage to save each month. And again, I use the color pencil to divide the sections from each other and added some more detail on the page with the leaf patterns. So the next spread is going to be very blank since this was made for brain dumps. So I will write any random ideas that I get, again not related to my YouTube videos because that has its own spread. So I want to leave it pretty much blank so that I have as much space as I need. I still try to decorate it slightly by adding some of the leaf patterns at the bottom and on the top, and then I added some flowing lines with the glitter markers, again keeping the same color scheme and sort of similar design to the previous pages. I really feel like as I progressed through the pages, I managed to keep the style more consistent and I was more relaxed when it came to adding the information and designs, and I just stopped overthinking about it. The final page is kind of a page that will be filled more toward the end of the month. And here I wanted to have a space for gratitude because I feel like sometimes we get too busy and tired and we feel like things are worse than they actually are. So I feel like we sometimes need to take a minute and appreciate what we already have. On the bottom half of the first page, I also want to create a space for creating memories. So I want that each month I write down any memories that I made and not get too lost in my work. I want to focus more on the friends and family that constantly support me and give them more time. I'm sorry again, I forgot to record the part where I write the titles of the next page, but at least you can still see me designing them. On the next page, I want to write down new things that I discover or learned throughout the month. As this journal is mostly about monitoring my productivity and growth, I want to note down any things that I discover, and I feel like it is important to note your growth as well and not just focus on producing all the time. I really enjoy doing this spread and it felt relaxing, and without even trying I was thinking about the things and people that I have around me, and it really made me appreciate the moment. I also felt more free and flowing with my ideas and I didn't overthink it. So let me show you the complete setup for January. Let me know down in the comments if you also have a journal or are planning to have one, and if you have any questions, please ask them below. I really hope you enjoyed this video because it was really fun making it. And if you haven't already, please subscribe because I will be posting the February setup next month. Thank you guys so much for watching this video. I really hope that you guys got inspired and motivated to go and work on your own thing. Stay positive and I'll see you in the next video. Bye!